Hey everybody, how's it going? In this short video, we're going to cover many of the misconceptions the public has had on inflation. But first, let's take a look about the differences that most economists and most people have on inflation. In the 1990s, Nobel Prize winner Robert Shiller surveyed average Americans and economists regarding inflation. His question was if they agreed that preventing high inflation was important to national security, say as important as the quality of schools. The US population as a whole, about 52% answered that preventing high inflation was very important, while 4% said it wasn't. However, among professional economists, equally 18% agreed with the public saying it was very important, while also 18% agreed completely the opposite. So all this proves is that the majority of people don't understand how inflation affects them, especially when compared to the professionals. So we're going to talk about how we can fix that for you. To help you all out, I'm going to give you an example of a contrasting way of inflation. Let's say there's an equal level of inflation. That means that all monetary values rise at the same percentage and at the same time. So no one's actual purchasing power changes. I'm going to use Minecraft as an example here, and let's say that your world updates every night. Every item in the game, your diamonds, your bread, your netherite armor, now costs 20% more emeralds. But at the same time, every villager trade, chest loot, and mob drop also gives you 20% more emeralds. So even though the numbers look bigger, your ability to trade for gear and stockpile resources and even beat the game is going to be the same as it was before. Or another way to say that is that nothing has become harder to do or more expensive to do in real terms. This is why many economists are less concerned about inflation in theory. If everything adjusts evenly just like in the Minecraft world, the economy will function the same regardless. However, in the real world, and why a ton of people get frustrated with the inflation rate, is that it's often uneven or unbalanced. For another example, let's say your villager trades get more expensive, but the amount of emeralds you've had has stayed relatively the same. This would be making it harder for you to survive, obviously, and you would probably take more time to get more emeralds rather than spending them. The main source of confusion about inflation and interest rates specifically is that people tend to focus on nominal numbers or the total visible number in their bank account rather than their real purchasing power. Let's put this back in Minecraft terms and say that your real emerald count, or the amount you get paid from your job, has increased, and then you have assumed that you are richer. But at the same time, enchanting books, diamond gear, and food has increased just as much or more than your paycheck. This confusion shows up most clearly with interest rates specifically. So let's say, for example, someone might feel reassured knowing that they earn 5% interest on their savings, the same way a player would feel good about getting more emeralds per trade that they make. But if the inflation is running at 5% or higher, then all of those emeralds don't actually get them more resources, it gets them way less. So it looks like from your point of view that you are progressing forward and you are gaining some ground even. But in reality, in the global scale, you are behind. So another misconception arises when we're talking about borrowing and debt. As we've seen from the survey, most people assume that higher inflation means higher interest rates and that they're both bad. But in reality, the interest rate is only bad if it's higher than the inflation rate. Let's say that a player takes out a loan of emeralds at a fixed rate, maybe agreeing to repay 100 emeralds later. And then inflation causes the emeralds to lose value. So repaying that loan would become easier in real terms. Basically what I'm saying is that when you give your money back, it will be the same number, but it may cost you less money total, depending on how you got the money. This would create a redistribution of purchasing power between the savers and lenders, meaning that people who lent you the money would lose money, while you, who took the money, gain money. The confusion comes from people focusing on the fixed numbers, that being the 100 emeralds you're given back or whatever interest rate it is, rather than the changing values of those numbers over time.